Hello, everyone. My name is Stacy O'Connor, and I am the undergraduate recruiting specialist for the Beacom School of Business. Thank you all for joining today's session. I have with me the Beacom School of Business Student Services team, and we are going to talk about advising and career services for business students. We will start with introductions, then I will ask each person a couple of questions, and we will end with the opportunity for you to get your questions answered. So we will start with Chad. Chad, tell us who you are, what you do, and then answer one of the following questions. Your favorite place to eat in Vermilion, your favorite class in college, or the best kept secret at USD.
All right, sounds good. I'm Chad Pinkelman. I am one of the academic advisors for the business students here. And I would say I'll answer my favorite class. I really liked the business capstone. It's BADM 482. And I liked it because you get to play what we refer to as the shoe game, and you kind of tie all your stuff together, whether it be marketing or operations or economics, or you tie it all together and you do a competition against your classmates. So it was really pretty fun.
All right, I'm Carly Hurd. I'm the Director of Student Services here for the Beacom School of Business. I do advising and some recruitment for the business school. And I was going to do the best kept secret, but I can't tell you that because you're not USD students yet. So I will say my favorite place to eat in Vermilion is probably Red Steakhouse. They have really good burgers and food, and they have sushi on Tuesday nights for those of you who like sushi.
My name is Mandy Hansen. I am the manager of the Career Success Center, so I help students with all things career services, which you guys will learn a little bit more about as we go on here. But my favorite place to eat and the best kept secret in Vermilion is Mr. Smith's. It's a little sandwich shop, and it's actually hidden in Ace Hardware here in Vermilion. So once you guys get on campus, you have to be sure to stop by there.
Hello, my name is Kyle Schoenfelder, and I'm one of the academic advisors here in the Beacom School of Business. And my favorite class would be Principles of Marketing, BADM 370. We had a really fun professor at the time, and we got to do a case study on Buffalo Wild Wings. So that was my favorite class.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for those interesting introductions. And now I'm going to ask a few questions. So Carly, we'll start with you. A big part of the Student Services Center is advising. So talk to us about how academic advising works.
All right, so at USD, we have mandatory academic advising. So all of you as business students will be assigned to either myself or Chad or Kyle for advising throughout your academic career. So you will meet with us right away when you come to campus for fast track for registration in the summer, and then you will continue to meet with us every semester as you progress through your program. So the point of that is to make sure you're going to graduate on time, to answer any questions that you have about your academics. We also can help refer you to other services that are on campus, and just overall in general be an advocate for you and somebody that you can come talk to anytime you have questions. So we are kind of there to be the experts in the curriculum to help you work through, whether it be you want to do business but you're not sure what program, or if you know what you want to do and want to get there the fastest, we can help you with all of that. So that's what the three of us do with advising students in the business school.
Excellent. And that leads to my next question really well. So Chad, how and when do students choose their business major?
All right, well, all business students start off as general business majors. So you don't actually declare a specialty within business right away. Once you hit 45 credits and you finish the business prereqs, then you can declare which one of our 10 majors you're going to specialize in. If you know coming into campus what it is, our students will say, yeah, I'm an accounting major. Like, that's not a big deal if family or friends ask. So that works out. And if you have no idea what you want to do, it really works out because you have time to figure it out. BADM 101, our Survey of Business course, can help with that. You'll learn more about what each one of our majors can do as a career and different jobs. And then, as Carly said, us as advisors can help you make that decision as far as, with you deciding what you want to do for a career path. We can help pick a major for you that'll help get you there. And I think that's one piece of advice we like to give students is it's a lot better for you to decide what you want to do for a job and then figure out what major will get you there than coming to us and going, hey, I want to be a finance major, what can I do as a finance major? So we think sometimes students tend to look at that a little bit backwards. One other thing I'd like to show you guys or to point out for you guys is if you go to our website, usd.edu/business, right in kind of the center of the page, if you scroll down just a little bit, is all 10 of our majors. You can click on each one of those majors, and we got brand new videos that'll break down the content of what you will study within those. So definitely something to check out after this presentation, and Stacy will give you the website for that.
Yep, and they're really good, and they're really short, so
Yeah.
they're worth watching.
And if you don't know what you want to do right away, that's not a big deal. I mean, you have a couple of years in the business school to really decide what major you want to go into. So if you know you want to do business but are really nervous because you don't know exactly which one, we have 10 majors, so you have lots of time to decide. You even have that first semester in the program when you're a second semester sophomore or first semester junior to figure it out. So don't be worried about that. We will help you through that process.
Excellent. Now, I just wanted to say, if someone does have a question about something that we're talking about, feel free to type it in the chat box in the right-hand side of your screen. So Kyle, talk to us. Another way that some students find out what majors they like is being involved in clubs and organizations. Tell us a little bit about how students choose and get involved in the clubs and organizations.
Sure, absolutely. So obviously your number one priority here is your education, but we're going to supplement that with outside the classroom activities, different student organizations that you can join. And move-in day this year is going to be Friday, August 18th. The very next day, we have a student organization fair. So a lot of the 170 some odd student organizations that we have on campus are going to be there to meet you, recruit you for their organizations and clubs. We have faith-based groups. We have philanthropy-based groups. There's going to be Greek sororities and fraternities there. We have club sports teams. There's going to be a lot of professional and special interest groups as well. So just about something for everybody. Here alone in the business school, we do have 4 honor societies and 11 other professional organizations that you can join. One thing to note, you don't have to be a specific major to be in certain groups. So if you're a marketing major, you could still join the accounting club if you want to. So a lot of flexibility, a lot of opportunities for you to build up that resume while you are here. We also have our own business school student organization fair in the fall so that you can meet and network with current students in those organizations to find out how to become a member.
Excellent. All right, Mandy, you represent the Business School Student Services outside of advising as our Career Success Center manager. So what are some things that students can do their freshman year, which for most of you, it's this coming fall, to prepare for their career?
Some of the things that you can prepare for your career as a freshman, we do have what's called a 4-year plan that we're rolling out, and that's going to give you some good guidelines that you can do each semester to kind of prepare yourself, for once you graduate and what you want to do with your career. But Chad and Kyle both kind of touched on a couple of them, but one of the things you'll want to start thinking about as a freshman is looking at different career options and things that interest you, and then which of our majors probably are a good fit for you for those career options. So those are things, like they said, that you don't have to choose, but just to start doing a little bit of research on. The other one is to become involved in student organizations. So as freshmen, we really want you to become involved. Employers are going to want to see what you've done outside of the classroom. You may all have a 4.0 GPA, but they want to see what else you've done, outside of the classroom. So we recommend getting involved in student organizations your freshman year, and then by the time your sophomore, junior, senior, you may take leadership roles in those student organizations. So like Kyle said, there are 11 student organizations right in the Beacom School of Business here, and then 170 plus on the USD's campus. So there are plenty of ways for you to get involved. And then we also do have networking events that we have here in the Beacom School of Business, where we have employers come to campus. So those are always good to get involved in early, just so you kind of develop some of those networking skills that are essential to getting a job once you're done here. We have some right in the Beacom School of Business here, and then there's some that our Career Services office on USD's campus hold as well. So there's a lot of opportunities to get involved right away, first semester your freshman year.
Great, thank you. So Carly, I've heard about some new programs here in the business school. Can you let us in on some of the details?
Yes. So we have a few new programs that are going to be starting next fall, which is perfect for you guys if you are going to be graduating this May and coming next fall, or if you're juniors, these will be already happening when you get here. We have something called Peer Advising that we're starting this next fall, And what that is all first-year freshmen will be assigned a peer advisor. Peer advisors are upperclassmen within the business school that have kind of been through what you will be going through. And they will be there for you to meet with probably twice a month or so to go over the transition to college, what to expect in classes, how to register for classes, how advising works, how to join organizations, all these kinds of things that we're kind of talking about now. We as advisors can answer, but it's kind of nice to have somebody that's in your age group that's kind of been through it recently to ask these things to. And they are there for you to answer or ask questions to that maybe are things that you don't want to talk to us about, but you feel comfortable talking to a peer advisor for. So that is something that's really cool. A lot of our students are really excited about it. That is starting in the fall. So look forward to that. We'll give you information when you get here as a student on your peer advisor and who that is and when they'll be meeting. We also are starting a new faculty mentoring program. So because Chad and Kyle and I will be doing all the advising all the way through your career, we also want you to have that connection to faculty members within the business school. So we are still working on that program, but you will be assigned a faculty member within your program. So this isn't something that you'll be doing next year. This is closer to your sophomore, junior year when you know which program you want to do within the business school. That faculty member will be available to ask questions about where should I go with this elective, or what are the big trends that are in this field right now. And a lot of this stuff is stuff that Mandy knows as well, but there's 10 majors and she didn't major in all 10 of those majors. So it's nice to go talk to a faculty member that is an expert in that field about what they're seeing that's happening within those fields. So that is something else that will be available to you. So we really want to have a full portfolio of services that are available to you as a business student that most of the other majors don't have on campus, so that you are really successful when you leave here and you can feel like you had a great experience.
So Carly, Lexus is asking, will they be for your specific major, the peer advisor?
Right now we're not doing them specific to your major at this point. That's a great question. But because all of the peer advisors will be from all of the majors, it will be a situation where your peer advisor can speak to being a business student in general, but can also refer you to one of the other peer advisors that is in your major. So yes, you will kind of have both, the best of both worlds, where if they're not in your major specifically, they will know somebody that can answer those questions for you. And again, a lot of students their freshman year aren't really sure of their major, and that's why we're not being able to do specifically major to major, because a lot of students won't know yet. And we won't know because honestly, as you enter in as a business major like Chad was talking about, you're all labeled as a U-Biz or a pre-major business student. So unless we talk to you specifically, we wouldn't know which major you're pursuing unless you're HSAD. So it get complicated, but yes.
Good question.
Great question, Lexus.
Thor, do you have a question? You can type it in the box if you do.
I like that you're raising your hand though. Great. This stick figure is raising his hand.
While we wait for that, we'll go on. So Kyle, she mentioned some services, but what are some other services available to students in the business school?
Sure, absolutely. So USD actually provides free services such as tutoring, learning specialists, and supplemental instruction. Supplemental instruction are peer-assisted study sessions that help you with difficult first and second year courses. Learning specialists will help you develop successful learning strategies, maybe study skills, time management skills, maybe help you overcome some math anxiety if that's something that you may have. Some other helpful services that we have are a writing help center, a presentation help center, and the Math Emporium. The Beacom School of Business does provide free tutoring as well, specifically for principles of accounting, principles of economics, business statistics courses. So a lot of sources to help you inside and outside the classroom.
Excellent. Yeah, that's good. So Chad, so a lot of these students have like dual credit, and of course most of them have probably taken the ACT score or the ACT test. So how do those two things affect their first year class schedules?
Awesome. So we'll pull up a sheet for you to view here, and we'll kind of cover how that'll work. So hopefully some of you are bringing in dual credit or AP credit, and we'll kind of cover that. But one thing to note is if you don't have either of those, that's completely okay as well. All of our programs are designed to be a 4-year program, even if you're coming in with no credit at all. So I don't know how close you guys can see this image. It's a little small on our screen, so if you can't read it, you can contact Stacy or any of us, and we'll send it out. But essentially, there's different categories. So on the top of the sheet in front of you, it has our English series. So all of our students will start with English 101, and dependent on your ACT subscore in English will determine if you will also take a writing component, English 032, to help get you up to a standard college level with that. Similar with math, we do have 3 math courses that our students can potentially start in. There's Math 095, which is pre-college algebra, Math 102, which is college algebra, and Math 121, which is a algebra-based calculus course. So it's not the same calculus course the math majors are going to be taking. It's pretty much designed for business students, but it's basically going to ensure you're successful in your econ and statistics and other courses that you take throughout your business career. So if you are taking an AP course, with that, in the final exam, you have to have a 3. If you have a 3 on the final exam of an AP course, and that gets sent to us by College Board, that would count as college credit. So a lot of students might take a Soc or a Psych, or some history tends to be common. And dual credit, we have to have the official college transcript. So dual credit is typically taken at your high school or potentially at a community college, but it has to be sponsored by a school, a college or a university, and then we do need that official transcript from that school. Let's see, did I miss anything? Other advisors?
Do you want to maybe address some of these questions?
Yeah, let's go back.
So can you scroll up, Rachel? Okay. So for you, well, I guess, so Thor was wondering about the services available for tutoring. So part of question answered, how do you access it and how much does it cost? Do you want to talk about that? Or Carly, go for it.
So tutoring, there is specific Beacom School of Business tutoring like Kyle was talking about. It's upstairs in room 240, and they basically are there from 8 in the morning till 5 or 6 at night. There's schedules that get put up every single semester, so you kind of know who's available and when and what they are able to tutor for. Tutoring services for the university, you actually can fill out a form that is available online in the portal saying I need a tutor for such and such subject, and then they line it up for you through the Academic Career Planning Center. So that's how you access that. Very, very easy to get to. The tutoring in the business school, you don't need to have an appointment. You can just show up to the room upstairs, which is great. In addition to what Kyle talked about with that, we are starting to offer SI sessions for Accounting 210. So the first accounting class that you'll take on campus in the business school, and then also some of the microeconomic sections have extra homework sessions as well. So we really do a lot to try to make sure you guys are prepared as you move through your prerequisites into getting into your major.
Awesome.
And it's free. Sorry, I forgot that part. It's all free, or part of what you've already paid for, really. But it's free.
It doesn't cost extra.
It doesn't cost extra.
So Chad, will you answer the question? Will you scroll back up? I think it's from Stephen. Yeah. So how about transfer students coming from community college with an associate's degree?
Great question. So the way that process will work is the registrar receives your official transcript, and they do a quick evaluation of it. Basically, they look at the courses that other students have already brought in and have been evaluated. Beyond that, if you ever receive one of these evaluations, it'll say what your courses transfer in as, and you might see something like BADM 300T, and that just means that the credits are coming in, but they're currently coming in as a transfer elective. You would work with your advisor to put a request in for a faculty member to review the syllabus of the course that you took, and then determine whether it was equivalent to a course here or not. So, and that's not just for business courses. So if you took a particular math course and we're hoping it comes in as calculus, but it currently isn't, we can make a request to have that reviewed. So it's something that we work on an individual basis based off what you bring in.
And if you kind of wanted an idea right now of how something would come in, you could go to the website, to the USD website, and then under academics and the registrar's office and then the students tab, there's an equivalency calculator. So you can actually look up classes that you've already taken at a school and see how they've already been equated to USD. So if somebody has already come in from that school with those courses, you can actually see how they will come in already. If you're the first person coming from that place, then we have to do the process that Chad talked about.
We have a big database, and what I do to get there is I just go to usd.edu, and then in the search box, I just type transfer equivalency calculator, and it'll come up. But yeah, there's a huge database, and I mean, as you can imagine, we have like 10,000 students, and we've been around for a very long time, so over 150 years. So we have a lot of, I mean, we've had students transfer in from many, many colleges. There was another question about,
job.
scroll back up a little bit, yeah. So Mandy, do you want to answer that? So is it, Harsh asked, is it mandatory for a student to major before getting a job? And maybe internship is what Harsh meant, I don't know, but.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have to have a major declared before you got an internship, I mean, or even a job for that matter, if the job's going to hire you, without a major, but you have to have a declared major before you graduate, so.
And you have to have a declared major before you can get credit for internship, because it's a 400 level course.
But I will add to that, a lot of, I mean, not a lot, but there are students that will do internships not for credit, just to get the experience, and I highly recommend it. I mean, I'm sure that you guys can speak to that. If, doing more than one internship is smart to really know what you want to do.
Especially if you don't know what you want to do, it's just as important to have an internship or a job experience that weeds out what you don't want to do as it is having this great experience that that's exactly what you want to go into. So yeah, experiences, whether it be paid, unpaid, student organization, anything that can lead you to knowing what for sure you want to do is gold as far as I'm concerned.
And then there was a question about the dorms. We should scroll back up.
She answered it.
I know, but I wanted, maybe Kyle could elaborate. So Thor was wondering if the dorms are open over Thanksgiving. And Thor, I know you live far away, and so you're probably wondering about other times too. So do you just want to talk about like when the dorms are open?
Sure. They're typically open all year round, essentially. So that's really nice that they offer that service through the housing department.
Yep, so you can stay over breaks and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Perfect. Excellent. What other questions are there? Okay, so Thor is also wondering, can we cover some of the semester overseas programs that are offered through the business school as well? Luckily, Thor, Kyle is going to talk about that. So we'll talk about that in just a second. General class sizes for major specific courses.
So the average class size is about 33 students. So obviously, if you take the large macro or micro class, that one can be over 100. But generally, as you move through your major, your classes get smaller and smaller. But last semester's average class size was 33 students in the business school.
And then Tristan is wondering, Mandy, what types of internships are available through the business school?
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that probably here in a minute too.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there is just a whole wide breadth of opportunities that business students have. The nice thing about a business degree is that it's kind of general, most of them are, so you can do a lot of different things. You can, have an accounting internship, you can do something in marketing. Our students have kind of went all over the place, and I'll talk about that in just a little bit.
And just go for it if you want.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, just
okay.
Go ahead and.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of go into how students get set up with internships and kind of how that process works. So as we kind of discussed, internships, you can do them for credit, you can do them not for credit. Some of them are paid, some are unpaid. Most all of our students do paid internships. If you find something that's unpaid that you want to do, you certainly can do that. And you will just work with your advisors if you want to do it for credit, and they can kind of help you figure out where you can fit that into your plan. So that's kind of how that process works. I have several different avenues that I help students be notified of internships with. I send out a weekly email called the Biz Bulletin, and that's how I let students know about either events on campus, part-time jobs, internships, full-time employment after you guys graduate, and that goes out to all the business students that have declared their major. So you guys will all get that. And then there's also a system that the university has called Coyote Careers, and that's where employers post and they want to hire specifically, they want to hire USD students. So it's just a huge database that you will have access to as a student and as an alumni of USD. So you can go on there and search for an internship and kind of go about it that way. Like they said, a lot of students do multiple internships. It's a really good way to kind of get out into the workforce and see what it looks like. You might have an idea of something in your head that you thought that's what the career looked like, but then you get out on the job and it's not really what you thought. So if nothing else, it kind of helps you figure out what you don't want to do, and that's just as beneficial as figuring out what you want to do. And also, it looks really good on a resume once you guys are out there in the job market, having those experiences. are really good things to have on the resume. And then I talked about a little bit earlier as all the networking events as well. So those are always really good ways to kind of network with employers and get your name out there, because a lot of them come on campus several times a year. So if you kind of put the bug in their ear that you are interested in an internship, you may be first on the list as you prepare for your internship. So
Mandy,
yeah, Ryan wants to know which companies, businesses most often offer students internships at the business school.
and then the same question for
Okay,
Brianna.
is there specific
businesses.
business? Yeah, so the one really nice thing about the Beacom School of Business is we have a really engaged alumni base. So our alumni kind of have went all over the world and worked, and a lot of them come back to me because they want to recruit our students specifically. So, some of the big ones around this area, we've got students that work at Avera and Sanford. Those are some big employers in the area, and those are, you think of healthcare, but they have accountants and they have marketing people, they have human resources, kind of all the business majors that we have, they hire. So those are a couple big ones. Daktronics and Poet are some really big ones. Lawrence and Schiller is a huge advertising agency out of Sioux Falls. And then we've got, kind of all over the world. We had one of our students who worked for KPMG in Ireland last summer, and that's one of the big four accounting firms. So some really cool opportunities for students. And like I said, that's the nice thing about the Beacom School of Business, that we do have that engaged alumni, so we can reach out. If you guys have a specific interest somewhere and you want to go, to Kansas City, more than likely we can kind of help you find a contact there to get in. So I hope that helps. Let me know.
Yeah, let us know if you have any more questions about employers or internships. I want to give Chad an opportunity. Did you have something to add when you were talking about dual credit and ACT? Is there anything else that you want to add to that?
I think that's most of it. So typically a first semester student, if you are going to be coming in as a freshman, typically what we line our students up with would be like a math class, an English class, a business class, and then 2 classes of your choice. So we have lists of classes that fulfill the university's humanities requirement, or fine arts, or social science, or anything of that sort, or natural science. So just different general education requirements that you'll have to graduate from the university. So we kind of keep you on track of doing the university stuff while also fulfilling the business stuff. So.
Thank you so much. Now, I'll let Kyle talk about, I know, was it Thor that asked about, I can't remember, the study abroad opportunities, and we definitely have opportunities, and Kyle studied in the Netherlands, so I'll let him share some information about that.
Sure. So we have some faculty-led tours. It might be a week or 2 weeks. You can study abroad for a semester. You can do it for an entire year. The programs right now through the business school, we have are Japan, Australia, and Germany. I personally went through the Center for Academic and Global Engagement. We partner with that department on campus, and they send students all around the world. So I went the fall of my sophomore year, which is pretty early, but I had 2 friends that were going at the time, so I couldn't completely step outside my comfort zone. And I was able to get 15 credits that transferred directly back to USD as electives. And the program that I had was set up directly with USD, so I paid USD tuition and fees. So the cost wasn't that much more than as if I was studying at USD. So a great opportunity to travel the world. I think at age 19, I had been to more countries than states at the time. Maybe I lived a sheltered childhood, I'm not sure. So it's a really cool opportunity. Highly recommend that you guys look into it. If it's something you want to do, definitely mention it to your advisor so that they can kind of look at your 4-year plan and make sure that we keep you guys on track to graduate.
And there are 3 programs that are direct for business specifically. There's a Japan trip, and there's Australia, and then there's a Germany trip that are specific to the business school. But you don't have to just do those. There's a ton of different programs like Kyle was just talking about. And we work with you before you go to make sure the classes that you're going to take there will equate back to your USD classes, and so that you're progressing through your program. I highly encourage all the students I work with to study abroad. I think it's a great opportunity, and I think it's something you should absolutely do while you're at USD.
Do you want to answer Brianna's question? Brianna asked, do you have to study abroad a specific year?
Yeah, so Kyle talked about that he went his sophomore year. I would say the majority of students generally go their junior year would be when most people go, whether it be their fall or their spring. But I mean, there's not a stipulation on that. It's just that seems to work best and where students feel the most comfortable going. But you can go anytime, but that's the most popular, definitely. So you kind of get your wits about you here at USD before you're going off, and and traveling to other countries.
So Alexis wants to know if it's a week or two, what are you doing during that time?
So do you know Kim's trip, what they did?
A little bit.
Okay.
So I know the current dean of students just went to Ireland. She took a group of about 20, 25 students, and they did a leadership trip through Ireland. So they started in Belfast on the western coast. They did some sightseeing, and it's a leadership course. So they read a book before they go, and then they go to different locations throughout the country. So they went to Belfast, and then to Galway, and then they ended up in Dublin. So the 2 weeks during holiday break, the winter break is when they went. I know there's some in the summer. My sister went to Peru for a couple weeks, got her Spanish class out of the way by going down there and doing that. So there's a lot of different options, and each faculty-led tour is going to be different as far as location and the requirements for the course that they're studying.
And there's a lot of opportunity to study abroad or do those kinds of programs. You can even be a part of AWOL. I just went with a group of students to Guatemala last week where we built a house and did a bunch of cool stuff in Guatemala, and that wasn't for credit, but it was a great service learning experience for students to be a part of, something for the resume they say they've done, and just a great experience in general. So there's a lot of different opportunities out there, whether you want to do it for credit or not for credit or for whatever amount of time you want to do it for. That was for a week, so lots of options.
And we're going to circle back and answer. Tate had a question about what is the main thing that sets us apart? And I think I'll just answer that question. So I've done a lot of research on other business schools, especially in the Midwest, and there are a lot of good business schools in this area. To me, the one thing that sets us apart is our size. And I think an institution of our size gives students an opportunity to shine. There are so many different organizations you can be involved in, and not just be involved. I'm talking like be the leader of, like you be the president or the vice president of an organization. And you also really get to know your faculty and your peers. And that can be advantageous because, I mean, they can help serve as references. I have a faculty member to this day that I use as a reference. He wrote me a letter of recommendation, and he also gave me a scholarship. So that's just some of the benefits of a smaller institution. But the opportunity to shine is definitely what I think sets us apart. I don't know if you guys want to add.
And the value for what USD has to offer is fabulous.
Yeah, we're obviously fully accredited. AACSB accreditation is the best accreditation there is for business schools. And when you look at that and compare it with our tuition rate, it's just an incredible value. And I hear that over and over again from students.
I don't know, Harsh's question he's asking.
So Harsh is asking, can a student change his course if he wants to, I have an interest in business finance, can I change? Oh, okay, so maybe change major or double major or something?
So like we said, our students don't start off as like a finance major. You'd start off as general business, and then you have time to decide if finance is what you want. And then once you declare finance, all of our majors have 9 courses that overlap. It's kind of our core curriculum of our BBA. So yes, it's pretty easy to start in one major and change to another. And if you're talking about individual courses, that's a possibility too. Within the first 2 weeks of courses, if you take a course that you thought you were going to like and it really isn't what you thought it was going to be, you're able to drop that course and get a full refund within the add drop period, which again is typically almost 2 weeks long.
Excellent. Okay, Tristan, are there any requirements to get into the business school? And if so, what are they? So,
yeah.
Okay.
So we've got kind of 3 stipulations. So you have to have at least 45 credits done. So on average, that's about halfway through your sophomore year. You have to maintain a 2.5 GPA, and that we've kind of got 3 categories for that. We've got cumulative GPA, institutional GPA, and then Beacom School of Business GPA. And then the final one is you have to have taken all of the business prereqs. So that's going to be survey of business, accounting 1 and 2, micro and macroeconomics, business statistics, and survey of calculus. And again, that information is on the sheets that we had pulled up earlier when I was discussing.
I'll email it out.
We'll email that out. It's our freshman sophomore guide. So.
And the only thing I'll add to that is we are not selective. So if you meet the requirements, you will get in. Some people worry about that.
Yep.
So just know if you meet the requirements, you will get in. Thor has a follow-up question, Kyle, about the food service. Can you talk about that during breaks? Do you see that?
Yeah, so typically during breaks, the only food service that is available is the coffee shop and convenience store, either that or Einstein Bros Bagels. It all just depends on what campus dining wants to do. So typically those are the only either one or two services, food that will be available on campus during any breaks.
All right, and then Brianna, some colleges place students in certain dorms based off of major. Are there dorms that are particularly for business majors?
Currently, no, there is not a dorm that's specifically for business majors. I think in the way past, way past, they did some learning communities that were maybe specific, but I mean, you're looking for a big chunk of students then that are wanting to live all on the same floor with their same major. The benefit of not doing that is that you're going to get to know other people from other majors and talk to them about what electives to take and kind of get to know them more than just only being around people that are in the same classes as you, because you'll have a lot of opportunity to see them anyway. So
the only other, I was thinking, is there an honors floor or something?
there is an honors floor. That is the one living learning community that they have right now that I know has always been there and has been pretty good is honors, yes. So if you're an honors business student, you could be on the honors floor.
All right.
Thanks, Brianna.
Yeah, those are really good questions.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, if there are any other questions, feel free to type them in the box on the right-hand side. You've all asked super good questions. Yep. While we're waiting, I just wanted to invite you to connect with us. I'm going to share with you our website and our social media handles. So we are on Facebook, we're on Snapchat, we're on Twitter, and then of course there's our website too. So, Thor does have a question. So what are the closest dorms to the business school?
Julian would probably be the closest.
Everything's walkable.
Yeah, everything's
I mean,
really
that's all
close.
pretty comparable. Campus really isn't all too large, which is nice. The shortest amount of time you really have between classes is 10 minutes, and you can walk from one corner of campus to the next in that 10-minute period. So
I don't know
it's not too difficult.
I haven't gotten out my ruler, but I think they're all pretty close. I mean, everything's so close to campus. There's no probably benefit of being in one place or another. I think you really need to come visit campus, or I think on the housing website they might have some tours, of the different dorms, residence halls, excuse me. You should look there to get a better idea, and I think it's all about fit what feels the best, because I don't think there's one that's closer than the other, really.
So do you want to undo that so they can see us? So Harsh was asking, how are our business bachelor's degree different than others? So I've done a little research into this, and I guess I was confused because there are like Bachelor of Arts, and there's Bachelor of Science degrees, and then there's Bachelor of Business Administration degrees. We offer a BBA, which is a Bachelor of Business Administration, and the reason that it's a BBA is because it's offered through a school of business. Now, if a college doesn't have a school of business, you might get a Bachelor of Arts in business. So you would get a degree from like the College of Arts and Sciences, really is what it comes down to. And there are different requirements. We have a College of Arts and Sciences, not for business, but we have that on campus. And sometimes depending on if you do arts or sciences, they might require a foreign language or something like that. So there are different requirements. With a Bachelor of Business Administration degree, we require the prerequisite classes, so those help make up your general ed requirements. So like the macro and microeconomics, accounting 1 and 2, those are all required for your Bachelor of Business Administration, and that's probably different than a school that does a Bachelor of Arts and Sciences. I think with a Bachelor of Business Administration, you get a stronger foundation in business.
Hey, I do believe there is a Spanish club at USD, yes.
There is, and they also do a Spanish conversation table in the Munster University Center. I think it's every Tuesdays from 3 to 4, something like that. So they pull some tables together and have conversation. Mm-hmm.
Harsh, did I answer your question about the BBA and BA? So BBA is Bachelor of Business Administration, and then BA is Bachelor of Arts. We offer a Bachelor of Business Administration. So through USD, you'll get a BBA.
Hey, you should have gotten to Guatemala with me. You would have been very helpful, let me tell you.
Okay, so Thor asked, does the business school have outings and or field trips to businesses? Mandy, do you want to talk about that?
So we do do a lot with Sioux Falls and Sioux City is both really close here, and so we have a lot of employers actually that just come to campus, so that's really nice. But we do have opportunities for students to get out and, like I said, kind of do a little field trip and a Q&A with some of the upper level people at employers. So we do have opportunities like that. We do that with our graduate students, and last fall we did open that up to our undergraduate students as well. So that was kind of a cool opportunity. Like I said, we did have Sioux Falls and Sioux City, and then we did have a trip to Omaha planned that got canceled because of a snowstorm. But yeah, we do have a lot of cool opportunities like that.
Good question. So Brianna is wondering, when are the times of most business courses, morning or afternoon? Carly, do you want to take that?
They're all at 8 a.m. So just get ready. No, I'm joking. They're all different times of the day. Honestly, most of our classes, there'll be multiple times of the day that they're offered, so that if you know you're not a morning person and that's not going to work for you, you can take an afternoon section. If you love the morning so you can get done with your day and get moving, you can take morning section. So you will have a lot of flexibility. To be honest, there are very few 8 a.m. classes.
Yeah, the bulk of the classes, especially in the business school, are from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. There'll be a few that might start a little later, and then if you're looking at gen ed, some might be at 8 a.m., but 9 to 2 in general.
And then Lexus, you're wondering about Fast Track. I'm not sure that they've set the dates yet, but I know that it's like, late May is when they start, and then they go through the summer.
Yep.
I always just recommend coming as early as you can so that you can pick your schedule exactly the way you want it to be.
I think that about March is when they send out the information about Fast Track. So sign up as soon as you get it.
Yep. So yes, please connect with us. And I know some of you are far away, so it's probably not possible for you to come to campus. But I wanted to let you know we do have admitted student days coming up on February 3rd and February 17th. If those dates don't work, but you still want to come to campus, we welcome visitors every day of the week. So you just let us know when you're able to come, and we'll make it work for us. And stay tuned. I will have upcoming webinars, so please watch for your emails. I'll have professors. Do we have another question?
Harsh, the disadvantage would be is that would not be at the Beacom School of Business. So the advantage is that you would not get a BBA from us because we don't have a BA in business at USD. But other than that, I don't know. He asked the difference.
Oh, okay, the difference between.
So a BA, really you're covering a lot more like foreign language and that kind of courses. The arts portion, you're going to do more of that kind of stuff within the program. But we don't have one here. I don't know which schools even have a BA or a BS. We really obviously focus on the BBA so that you have that, like Stacy said, the foundation of business covered. So you can kind of do, even though you might be a finance major or an accounting major or whatever, you have that base of all of the disciplines within the business field that you can be successful in a lot of different jobs.
And I will say, when you get a degree from us, it will say Bachelor of Business Administration, regardless of what business major you choose. So whether you do finance or marketing, it will be a Bachelor of Business Administration. So what Carly said is true. You get a good foundation, and I think it makes you more marketable that way. Lexus is wondering about registration for classes. Isn't that open soon? Yeah, so you'll actually register, Lexus, during Fast Track, and you will meet with Carly, Chad, or Kyle, one of the advisors here, and they will help you pick your classes. And I don't think you can actually register without meeting with them. You have to meet with them first.
So Alexis, I'm guessing you know somebody that maybe is on campus right now that's a current student. Those students always get to register before freshmen. So freshmen, you won't even be able to register until the first Fast Track in May. There's no way to, because they put a registration date, because they need to let current students register who need those classes first before freshmen can register. So that's how it will go forever. Those with the most credits register first, and then it goes down from there.
And there are a lot of dates to pick from.
Yeah, there are. There are a lot of Fast Track dates to choose from. Also, there are specific transfer registration days. So I don't remember which one of you was talking about transferring rather than an incoming freshman, but you'll have specific courses or specific dates for that to happen as well.
All right. And Tristan is wondering, what are some advantages to an MBA as opposed to a BBA? Well, I mean, I guess I can answer this. When you have an MBA, it depends on when you get it in your career. We do have a lot of students that go right from, you have to get a bachelor's degree to get a master's degree. So I will say that first. You have to get a bachelor's degree, and if it's from us, BBA, right? So you'll get your BBA before you do your MBA. But if you want to do your MBA, I mean, I do think it can make you more marketable when you're out there trying to get a job. I feel like you can get promoted faster, you know, when you compare yourself to someone with just a bachelor's degree. If you choose to get your master's degree, you might move up a lot faster and start making more money faster. So that's a big advantage as well. Does anyone have anything to add to?
Yeah, the future earning potential is there. I mean, even if you just look at national average statistics of starting salaries or our starting salaries, I mean, our bachelors are usually around 41,000 and masters are around 63. And, you know, we've got MBAs and MPAs, so Masters of Business Administration versus Masters of Professional Accountancy. And one really cool advantage is if you come here, get your undergrad in business, so you get a BBA, it shaves 1 whole year off of the MBA. So that's the route that I actually went myself. I came here to USD for 4 years in undergrad, stayed for a 5th year in my master's. I graduated in 5 years with my master's in business administration. So it's a really great option.
And we can talk to you about that more when you get here. We have fast track options like Chad was just talking about, and you can really save a lot of time, I guess, doing that. And yeah, so a lot of good options. We offer the MBA as well as the MPA, the Master of Professional Accountancy. Any other questions? All right, Harsh, after I got my BBA degree, do I need to give any separate exam for? Well, we do require the GMAT, which is the graduate entrance exam. However, it's possible that you could go into, we may offer a waiver if you do the fast track program and do the programs together and maintain a certain GPA. I think it's a 3.25 or something. So if that's what you're asking about the separate exam, yeah. Any other questions? You're welcome. If you guys have any further questions, I'm more than happy to talk with you anytime. And even if you want to Skype or something, like if you live far away and you'd rather talk in person, I'm more than happy to Skype with you. Just email me and we can set something up. But yes, if you are interested in coming to Admitted Student Day or coming for a visit, go to usd.edu/visit and connect with us on social media. So thank you so much, and go Yotes.